Okay, we got 10 ukuleles, 10 Rogue ukuleles, student grade ukuleles. With those ukuleles, you get a pitch pipe, and you get a bag. Now, this is the quality of bag that they give, along with your student kit. I really like this bag. It's cushioned. It's got like an inner lining and an outer vinyl lining or outer vinyl cover. And I'm very impressed with the bag. The bag is super nice. These sell for about $40 or $39.99 on Amazon.com. So you, like I said, you get the pitch pipe, you get the ukulele itself. The ukulele, the quality of it it's okay. It'll work. I feel personally that the nut right here is a little bit too high. So the action is very steep compared to other ukuleles that I've used in class. So this is kind of like a review, I guess. If you take a look at the quality of the finish, it came with a little ding here. And you've got some, because I'm teaching evaluation in class, I want to evaluate the ukuleles and the quality of it. You'll see there's some inconsistency, some patchiness with the finish. See over here? It's kind of interesting how we've got this patchiness going on here. I've never seen that with any other ukuleles. Typically, Rogue is a very good, inexpensive brand name. And so they are proving to be quite inexpensive here. When you buy 10 of them online, 10 of these student kits, it costs $249. So basically it breaks down to about $25 per ukulele with that pitch pipe and the nice gig bag. But I think what they really skimped on was the actual ukuleles. They still work, but it requires a little bit of playing around with. You have to use a screwdriver to tighten these up, and you have to be very careful how you do it, because if you're not familiar with tightening up ukuleles, if you tighten it too much, you might damage the tuning pegs. Okay? And you don't want to do that. So I always tighten when I'll tighten it up. Now, that's pretty good. I just tuned them up again yesterday. I've tuned each one of these. I've had to tune each one of these ukuleles at least 3 times each. See? That one's still a little bit off. So I need to tighten this peg a little bit more. And this is what you do. You just tighten it a little bit. Now what I do is I tighten it about 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch or a 1/4 turn on the screw each time so that I don't overdo it. And once they hold, then I know I've done a good job of tightening it, and I don't need to tighten it anymore. So that should do it. That one needs a little bit of tightening too because it lost its tuning overnight. So if you have friction pegs like this, it requires a lot more attention. You've got to tell the students, don't touch them, don't mess with these tuning pegs, because you're going to drive me crazy if every single time we have a ukulele session, you guys are touching the tuning pegs. Do not touch them. And if you touch them, you're going to have to bring your own ukulele. You can't use mine. So we're tuning this. That's perfect. Now, if you want to hear the sound of it, it goes like this. So it doesn't sound bad, but if you compare it to other ukuleles in a similar price range that have a lousier gig bag, the Makala comes with 2 things. And I think the next time, if I ever do ask for another ukulele set or any new ukuleles from anyone, I would probably not choose the Rogue, even though the Rogue has a good price. The friction pegs take a lot of maintenance initially if you're not familiar with them. But if you're familiar with them, you'll know how to tighten it immediately and you should be okay. I'm assuming that after I get the right tuning or the right tightness on the screws, then these ukuleles will be pretty awesome. Except, like I said, for the action is very high. It's a very high action here. And what I mean by action is the distance between the strings and the frets. right here it's hard. It's harder to press here than I'm used to, because I'm used to the Makala ukuleles and other ukuleles with a more shallow action. And I'll show that. See this right here? This has a much more shallow action, and it has the tuning pad, or it has the geared tuners in the back. This is a $39 ukulele as well, but it comes with a really inexpensive gig bag. It's almost just like cloth, but it still works. You just got to be more careful not to drop it and all that. But it has a mellower tone. It's got a plastic body. Very durable. This has been for like 2 or 3 years already, and a lot of kids have been using these regularly and taking it out to recess. You see the shallowness of the shallow low action there? That's good, because then your fingers don't have to struggle that much to press down. It's just a little bit of pressing here. Whereas it seems like a whole lot of pressing to get to here on this one. And so my preference is the Makala. But for free from Chevron, I'm very happy to have these. And I could always file down the nut over here and make it more shallow of an action here. And that's the big deal for me. I don't worry about the little cosmetic imperfections. You know, the roughness of this one's actually smooth right here. The finish on the Makala is very tight tolerances, and it's even got this nice little dolphin here. So for the same price, would I get a student kit or would I get the better ukulele? I'd probably get the better ukulele. See, this one's out of tune already. Now I gotta tamper with those. But you see how high this action is. Look at how high that action is. And then sometimes the tolerances aren't very tight, and you get these little diagonal or sloped bridges in the back. And I'm wondering, why is it like that? I mean, sometimes over here it's a little bit rough. These frets, the metal sticks out a little bit too much. The nut on some of these is not even put on properly. And I know I'm nitpicking for free. You know, I am still very grateful and thankful, because what's worse than a funky ukulele? No ukulele. So I'm very grateful, because for me, I can tweak these things and it's not a problem. You see how this is, though? I'm kind of surprised that Rogue put this out like this, because Rogue is a very good, inexpensive instrument maker. I've got a lot of Rogue instruments, so I'm surprised that this one is. Look at that. The nut is about 1 millimeter off from the neck. And, I mean, I could fix that, sure, but it'll take me time, energy, and effort. And teachers don't have all that time. Time is money. See, this is sloped right here. The glue is really funky. You can look inside and there's glue drippings. Typically, you don't want to see that. You want to assume that a lot of care and effort was taken on the quality. This is a funny one. I got to show this. I even have a ukulele here that has a piece of Chinese newspaper in it. I've never seen that. It's glued in there. So I know what kind of process they use. You know, they use Chinese newspapers for part of the lacquering or the varnishing process. If you take it out, and I got a little Chinese newspaper clipping. It's kind of cool. I mean, I guess. See that? See the Chinese characters? Pretty cool. It's the first time I've ever seen that. I like unique stuff. Okay? So anyway, I like to notice these little things. I'm always evaluating. So that's how you evaluate, you know, the Rogue, fine instruments, ukulele, RU12 kit model. Okay, again, inconsistent, patchy varnish work and stain work. But does it work? Well, now it does. You just have to tune and use a screwdriver properly.